Myself, Suraj Prakash Kamkeri, register number 1151137. I'm gonna start with my thesis audiovisual presentation. India, our motherland, has seen many rise and falls in its ancient times, and Indian history has seen many dreadful wars. Also, those awful moments commemorated due to the various courageous and brave souls of the Indian country who has sacrificed their lives for others' goods. India has always been the birthplace of many heroic, brave warriors. Great sacrifice of Indians for their motherland was noteworthy. That is why historical wars become an important aspect for the persons interested in Indian history. My thesis topic is Indian National War Museum, New Delhi. The site is located near India Gate, Princess Park. Now I'm gonna explain the methodology, objective, and aim of my project. Starting with the aim, to design a national war museum that will portray famous post-independent battles and establish itself as an outstanding landmark in the national capital region for Indian and foreigners. Supporting to the aim, I'm gonna go with the background study and literature. One is the empirical literature, and second one is the conceptual literature. And under the empirical literature, here it goes: HAL Air Force Museum, Bangalore; National Museum, New Delhi; Dresden Museum of Military History, Germany; Empirical War Museum, London. Under the conceptual literature, here it goes: Evolution of Indian Armed Forces, number of wars that took place in Indian history; profile human experience of war, and chronicle military events which shaped the development of our country. Under the aim, I subjected the objectives. There are three objectives here over there in the sheet. Under the objectives, I have taken into consideration 5 parameters. One is the planning, museography, services, display techniques, interpretation, and communication. Under these parameters, there are certain data requirements. Under the planning, we have building program, museological study, exhibiting programs for thematic museums, functional programming, planning of communication and education activities. Under the design museography, we have got museographical study, architectural design of India spaces, exhibition design, organization of spaces and routes, study of lighting design, study of showcase furniture and colors. And under services, I got HVAC, firefighting, electrical services, rainwater harvesting. Under display techniques, I got technical study, construction and installation, conservation of antiquities, preservation of object, installation, and lighting control. So under the parameter interpretation, communication, the data are as follows. And I have got some sort of analysis through all these objectives and the parameters. The analysis is: once the museum is roughly outlined as the construct of ideas, the project has to meet a series of practical changes. Regardless to the museum is allowed to sprawl across the context of development, or has to make to do with one room in a historical listed set of galleries. And the second analysis I got is: an appropriate planning of a facade development may be used to form a relationship with the neighborhood. However, the primary objective is to communicate the intrinsic values, particularly sensitivity in the case of war museum may be required, since the place itself is a central exhibit. So after the analysis, I'm gonna go with the design development. Here it goes: evolution of the concept, next to the zoning, next to the bubble diagram, next to the philosophy, adding some sort of philosophy towards the concept, then the form evolution, and then the planning. And after the planning, I'm gonna go with the 3D. Now I'm gonna give the intro towards the site. The site is located near India Gate, Rajpath. The site itself is called as the Princess Park. The site is bisected by a sub-arterial road, and the site has also some sort of slums in there. It's a different part. I had taken the slum part into the consideration of design development. The total site area is 14.23 acres. Okay, the gray color highlighted part is the site and the red color highlighted part is the encroachment area. As I have said earlier that the site has got some sort of slums, so the red color highlighted part is the encroachment area. And we have got here a number of photos around the site with a arrow marker shown where the photos are took from. So this sheet is basically the site analysis through the pics. So what and all we have got in and around the site, what and all trees we have got, what and all services we have got, the water bore wells, the road conditions, the existing trees, matured and immature trees and all. And on the left hand side we have got the axonometric view, the existing situation, the first axonometric view, that is the gray highlighted part, the site with the trees, and the surrounding blue highlighted part are the existing buildings. The second one is the surrounding land use plan. The green part highlights the landscaped area, blue part highlights the institutional area, and the yellow part highlights the residential area. And the third axonometric view is the connecting road network. We have got the Copernicus Road on the right hand side, the Tilakmarg Road on the left hand side, and the C Hexagon Road on the front side of the site. And at last, the axonometric view of the existing trees and vegetation. So I'm gonna briefly explain about the existing trees and vegetation in the next slide. Moving towards the third sheet, that is the tree analysis. I have done a separate tree analysis for my site because I have got 409 number of trees in my site, including the matured and immature trees. So the first AutoCAD drawing, the largely set up AutoCAD drawing showing some sort of circles with the yellow, blue and red and green colors. That is the on-site represents situation of the site. The red color highlighted circles are below 1 meter girth size of the trees. The blue color highlighted circles are 1 meter to 1.9 meter girth size of the trees. The green color highlighted circles are 2 to 2.9 meter girth size of the trees. The yellow color, that is largely highlighted circles, are 3 meter and above girth size of the trees. And the naturally looking trees are the surrounding existing trees. The gray color highlighted part, as usual, the site area. Now I have not highlighted the encroachment area because I have included the encroachment area in the site. And on the top left hand side of the sheet we have got a diagram of a tree with its measurement and specifications to know what the girth size of the tree is and how does it matter toward the uprooting of the trees or slashing of the or chopping the existing matured or immature trees. And the type of trees present in the site are as follows, that is Ashoka tree, guava tree, Khaneer, Jamun, rubber tree, neem and mango tree. And basically girth is a measurement of the distance around the trunk of a tree measured perpendicular to the axis of the trunk. Use of the girth to arrive at an equivalent diameter is an older frosty measurement that is still used. The second medium-sized AutoCAD drawing represents the proposed site after uprooting of the selected trees. After referring through Delhi Preservation Act 1994, Delhi Forest Department (GNCTD), Delhi Municipal Corporation and Ministry of Environment, Forestry and Climate Change, that trees the girth size less than 3 meter can be uprooted with a 95% success rate. Here it goes. And the request of uprooting or pruning of trees can be applied through online portal of DMC, that is Delhi Municipal Corporation. And the last part, lastly highlighted AutoCAD diagram shows the site zoning or regarding the developable and non-developable area. The yellow color part highlights the developable area, and the non and the blue color highlights the non-buildable area. Now, moving towards the concept, I have given a title to my concept, that is Shattered Dreams of Peace and United by a Ray of Hope. The meaning of the title will be explained in a short animatic clip of the site. I'm gonna explain with the animatic clip what and all the animation has been done. This is the plain site. The lines have been drawn irregularly in the site, which represent the shattered dreams of peace, and all the shattered dreams of peace, the irregular pieces have been brought up and leveled up like these. And after these, the certain pieces have been selected with respect to the alignment towards the road and the climatic conditions and the wind directions. The red color highlighted part now coming will be the main administration part, the blue color the galleries, the cyan color the auditorium, and the light blue color canteen, and the purple pathway, olive green the canteen, and the sea green will be the Hall of Fame. White highlighted part will be the outdoor spaces, and the green highlighted part will be the retained and green surrounding spaces with the landscape part. At last, finally, when we submerge all the shattered dreams of peace, here we got an ray of hope. That is, all the buildings are interconnected, the north block and the south block, in a continuous single line. So here I conclude my concept, that is, if we join the shattered dreams of peace, and at last we get a ray of hope to live. Okay, now I'm gonna explain the Photoshop rendered site plan. I guess so the whole site plan is clearly understandable, what all is the building portions and what all part is the landscape area and what all part is the outdoor exhibiting spaces. So on the last scale basis, I'll explain the entry exit points. So the main VIP entrance is adjacent to the on this way from here towards the main administration and entrance block. As the car enters, here is the roundabout. We can leave over here, and then they have a parking over here. And the second entrance is for only the pedestrian entry. They can enter from here, have the ticket and baggage counter over here. And the third entry point is from the underground tunnel or the underground pathway, which is interconnected between the existing Indian War Memorial over here. So they travel all the way from Indian National War Memorial. They travel, I mean to say, they start traveling from here under the ground, and they end up here with a large basement area. They have got a lift over here. I'll be showing all the detailed plans in the Autocad represented as a site plan. So this is the pedestrian entry, and the next entry we have got for the vehicles. So here's the entry for the vehicles, and here's the drop off and pickup area, and this area is for the larger heavy motor vehicles. And to explain in brief, here the exit point, here's the service entry point, and here one more service entry point. Now I'm gonna explain the circulation of the vehicles in and out of the site. So when a vehicle enters from here, they travel over here, stop here, they either pick or drop off, and they start traveling towards the basement. I'll be showing the plan of the basement in the AutoCAD represented site plan and the AutoCAD floor plans. So they go in the basement, and the exit of the basement is from here. They exit from the basement. Once more they arrive on the same platform over here. With the help of the ramp, they pick up their family members or someone who are they accompanied from, and they pass over from the exit gate. And the other way for the heavy motor vehicles are they entry from here, they drop off over here, they take the heavy motor vehicle take a right turn and they park over here. The exit route for the heavy motor vehicles will be as shown over here. They travel from here, they pick up the members who have came inside the vehicle, they take them, and the exit route is same for the cars and the heavy motor vehicles. The parking for the two-wheelers have been provided in the basement also, and the surface parking area for the two-wheelers have been provided here also. They can enter from here, and the entry for the surface parking of the two-wheelers is from here, and they can exit from here, and the exit route is same. So the summary of the circulation of the vehicles is as simple as that. Only one entry and one exit point. Because the museum is situated in a heavily restricted area in and around India Gate, so the entry and exits must be secured for the security reasons. Next, coming to the building level site plan, the front portion of the infrastructure, the left hand side of the infrastructure is of the administration part, and the right hand side of the infrastructure is the entrance part. And next, the gallery. So here the whole part is the gallery part, and this square shaped building is the Hologram Auditorium. I'll be showing how the Hologram Auditorium works. I have come up with a new sort of use of auditorium spaces in the museum, that is hypervision wall, and this is the first time the hypervision wall will be used in the museums all over India. None of the museums in India have the hypervision wall. I'll be showing a short video clip of the hypervision wall when I'll be explaining the plan of the Hologram Auditorium in the floor plans of the first floor. And this is the outdoor exhibit spaces. So, and we have got an open air theater over here with a stage here, and we have got a larger amount of spaces for the outdoor exhibits. These are the example of the outdoor exhibits which can be exhibited. And here we have got a thick wall. This wall can be used to create the mural artifacts with respect to the Indian Armed Forces, that is Army, Navy and Air Force. And moving ahead towards the north block, we have got an attachment overhead bridge over the sub-arterial road. We have got this Z-shaped structure which is known for the Hall of Fame, and the shortly attached trapezium structure which is attached with the Hall of Fame structure is for the canteen purpose. They can come and have a visual at the landscaped area over here. So I have got an conceptual landscaping over here also. The lines crossing over repeatedly one on another are not irregular. I have got some sort of concept behind the landscaping part. So I'll be explaining the concept behind the landscaping part in the site plan with respect to the AutoCAD plan drawings. And at last over here I have got the aircraft hangars for the outdoor exhibits. So I have got three large sized aircraft hangars. The large sized aircraft hangars can be subdivided according to the aircrafts, according to the size of the aircrafts. And at last I have retained many number of trees, and some of the trees have been uprooted from the center and they have been planted at the periphery of the site. As I explained in the rendered Photoshop site plan, now I'm gonna detail out the site plan in the CAD drawing. So as I was saying, there are mainly three entries and one exit. One entry is for the VIP vehicles, and one entry, and the second entry is for the pedestrian entrance, and the third entry is for the civilian and normal people's vehicle entry. And there's total one exit, and there are two service entries for either sides. So now in the pedestrian entry, I have set up some balustrades in order to restrict the movement of the two-wheelers. So from here will be the entrance, that is the main entrance of the building. Now I'm gonna explain the movement of persons and movement of people in the site. So as I was saying, there will be an underground pathway interconnected between the War Museum and War Memorial. I'm going to show that pathway. So here will be the exit of the War Memorial. As it goes, the red dotted highlighted line is the underground pathway, which leads to pretty good amount of area of space for the people. Then the people can come up towards the ground surface area with the help of the steps or with the help of the escalator, or they even have the provision of the lift over here. And next, when the people come from the vehicles, their movement will be like this. If they come from the car, the car is gonna drop out them at this dropout point, or I can say a small lay-by. Then they'll be going through this way under the sheltered Hologram Auditorium. The square highlighted part is the Hologram Auditorium at the first floor. At the ground floor level, this whole space is empty. So they're gonna come over here, buy the tickets, and keep the baggages in the safety locker. Then once again they're gonna walk this way and enter the museum from the main entrance. Okay, now concentrating on the second part of the site, we have pretty good landscaping over here, which resembles the southern part of the India. We can say southeastern part of India. So the main concept of this landscaping was these dots represents 1 2 3 4 5. That means the one represents the 1948 war with the Pak. Let me show you the AutoCAD drawing of this to be clear with the conceptual part. Okay, here's the one, that is the 1948 war with the Pak, which happened in Kashmir. Okay, two, the Indochina War, which has happened in Aksai Chin, or it is called as the Northeast Frontier Agency. And three, the 1965 war with Pak, which has happened in LOC, Line of Control. 1971, the war with Pak, and the place was Bay of Bengal. And the fifth represents 1999 Kargil, which has happened in the Kargil. Okay, the sixth one is the 2001, that is the ceasefire violation with the Pakistan, that has happened in Kashmir. So the main concept was here to represent the places where the wars have happened, that is 1, the 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So I have joined the lines from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, then 5 to 6, and then again 6 to 1. So now we have got an angle and the lines, the pathways for the landscaping over here. So in the landscaping part, all these lines will be interconnected and they will be extended like this. All the lines will be extended, so these lines will be representing as the pathway in the landscape, and rest all the area will be a camouflaged garden. Camouflaged garden in the sense olive green, green, brown, saddle brown. The plants with these colors or the plants with these blooming flowers colors will be planted over there to create a camouflaged look in the landscaping part. Okay, now let me take you to the yeah, here those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, those are the places where the wars took place. I have listed down the wars, number of wars, their years, and whom India has fought with and where it has fought the wars. So these places will be represented with some sort of statues on those orange color, light pale orange color highlighted circles, such that the people can have a look from here, that is the people on the way to the Hall of Fame, they can have a pleasant look of the aerial look of a landscape with a camouflaged garden from here, which looks pretty good. And the other part, uh, where the shape of the landscape looks like the eastern southern I mean to say southeastern part of the India, which has a different sort of concept in it. uh, the concept is all the wars have been fought almost in the northern part. So there'll be some sort of mind connections in the people, like the wars will be always fought at the borders, either in the south or either in the northeast or northwest. Actually it's not like that. Wherever the wars have been fought, all the India, the whole country will be affected due to the wars. So my idea was to represent here, was if the wars have been fought in the north, the south will also be affected. So now, up till now, all the wars have been fought in the north itself. So my idea was to include the southern part of the India also in the uh, conceptual landscaping somehow. So I have represented the outline of the southern India with the places and the coordinates of the northern India. So this is the concept of the camouflaged garden landscape. Okay, now I'm gonna go through the floor plans. I'm gonna explain the floor plans in the AutoCAD itself, because the floor plans are a bit confusing. I can't overlap the floor plans and show in the audio visuals. So to be more precise and to be more clear, I'm gonna show the AutoCAD drawings which are lined side by side, which is the basement plan, ground floor plan, and the first floor plan. So let me start from the basement plan first. As I was saying, in the photoshopped Photoshop renders site plan, the movement of of the four-wheeler or the vehicle will be uh, entering the basement parking. So here it will be entering through the ramp. The ratio of the ramp will be 1:10. The car will be entering over here, then it will be heading towards the boom barrier over here, and the black dotted lines, they represent the movement of the vehicle in the basement. Okay, so as the four-wheeler enters over here, it can be parked anywhere where the cars are represented in the floor plans. So if the car is parked somewhere over at this end, it has to be taken reverse, then it has to be drawn along this black highlighted dotted line in the line of the arrow mark, and the exit will be over here. It's a 5-meter driveway here, and it's an 8.2-meter freeway from column to column over here. So this is the basement exit, as I was saying in the site plan, and here is the ramp. Then this will be the exit from the basement. This is about the parking of the four-wheelers. So in the case of the two-wheelers, if the two-wheeler arrives from here, it has to be come this way, and this way. So this black color highlighted line with the arrow marks is the pathway and the circulation space for the two-wheelers. So here is the entry of the two-wheeler entries. So these box are represented for the parking space of the two-wheelers, and the exit for the two-wheelers is from here, and it also adjoins with the basement exit of the four-wheeler, and from the basement exit it has to go above the ramp and then the ground floor. So access and now I'll be concentrating on the exit of the basement, exit of a person from the basement through the ground floor on his foot. When someone enters over here and parks his two-wheelers, so he can access the lift or the escalator or the staircase. So he has all the three options. If he is a handicap, I mean to say, if he is traveling from a scooty with the two wheels on the either side, he can access the lift with the help of the wheelchair over here, and he'll be having the ramps all over the museum for the ease of access of the handicapped, or we can say specially abled persons. So this is one way to go upwards. And if someone comes over here and parks his four-wheeler over here, he can access this escalator or steps for going upstairs. Okay, this is the plan of the basement parking, and the allotment of the cars and the capacity of the cars are according to the ECS mentioned in the render. And here at this side I have got the vault. The museum requires a vault which should be safe enough to keep all the archives and the paintings or the newly arrived materials in the vaults, and it has to be safe enough. So I have took the vault and the archives in the basement. So the way towards the basement from the ground floor plan is can be accessed from the lift, and it can be accessed from the stairs also. So they're gonna have a lobby over here, and here the store for equipments, and here the shelf for storage of chemicals. It's mandatory for the maintenance of the archives in the museum, and here's a washroom for them. And this is the wall for the painting and sculptures and equipments or any other things whi- which are which have been um, exhibited in the museum. Now you may be wondering what is this way. I'll explain with respect to the ground floor plan. So if you think this is the ground floor, here's a entry way to the south wing. You can refer this plan to the side plan over there. So here's a small canteen, or we can say uh, refreshing canteen with the kitchen and food order counter, and the loading and unloading area with the service entry from this lane. So this is the exit. This is the only exit route. I mean to say, the passage of the road in between the sides while going from the let me say, this part is the southern wing and the upper part is the northern wing. When we travel from south wing to north wing, the travel path will be from above the road. Yeah, it will be the person will be traveling from above the road, that is over a elevated travel bridge. And from while arriving back from north wing to south wing, he will not be crossing the road, he will be coming from underground. Yeah, this way is the underground entry towards the basement tunnel towards the south wing. It can be accessed with the escalator or steps or the ramp. So this is the 8-meter wide passage with the artifacts and the exhibits, which makes them interesting, and the interior looks will be some sort of tunnel or the bunkers sort of interiors. So this is a 8-meter wide passage, so no chance of congestion or suffocation without air movement. The HVAC will be properly provided over there. And over here it will be joining the basement part. This is a 6-meter wide passage with the artifacts and exhibits. At last, at the end, you can see over here the pathway will be from this side. It takes a turn, then it takes a sharp 90-degree turn, and it comes over here. So here will be the museum feedback office, and at last here this is the self motivation center. So mainly the self motivation center encourages the young youths and the small kids to join the army, to serve the country, to be very proud to serve the country, uh, uh, as if they own the country. So this self motivational center and space will be fully equipped with the motivational videos and the motivational information which can lead them to join the army. And at the ba- and at the basement exit, uh, I got 2 lifts, a stairway and a escalator. Now I'll tell this basement exit way, where the basement will exit inside the building. Yeah, okay, I guess so. Now the basement plan is clear, so let me pass through the first floor plan. Now first floor plan, starting from the dropout of a person. If the person has been dropped over here, if you refer this shape of the floor plan with the side plan, you can be e- the plan will be easily cleared out. So if a person is dropped out here, he can come over here. This is an open space with the landscape. Nothing will be there except only the pillars. That to the pillars will be only in the basement part. These are the heavily associated columns over here. This one is the basement pedestrian entry or exit, which I shown in the basement plan. And once he travels from here, here is the 2 meter wide passage and a 3.5 wide platform, 3.5 meter wide platform, which is attached with the ticket counter and a baggage counter. So they can take the tickets and leave their baggages and lead towards the main entry. So this part is the main entry. Okay, if you ask me, what if one enters in the pedestrian entry, which was from here? If he enters from here, he can go towards the ticket counter, then leave his or her baggage. Then once again he can access the pathway or the landscaped pathway, and he can enter the main building. So coming towards the main entrance of the building, we have got the large huge staircases with a huge heighted slab, uh, and we have got 1.5 meter wide ramp over here at the ratio of 1:15 for the ease of the specially abled people. So I have subdivided the main entrance of the museum into main entry and main museum exit. So this is the main entrance part. So I have mentioned the levels over here. This is the main entry, and here will be the metal detectors and security check over here. And this 108 square meter waiting area, and here will be the reception and help desk. At the back of the reception and help desk, the pathway will be leading towards the storage area and way to the ticket counter, which is a restricted area for the people visiting towards the museum, visiting to the museum. So in this part we have got the ticket counter, baggage counter, which is well safe enough, a 2.5 meter wide passage, and a washroom for the people who are working in the baggage counter and ticket counter. And the washroom can be also accessed for the people who are working in the reception and help desk. Mainly I have got the ground floor and the first floor. In the ground floor, this square part is for the administration purpose. This part is for the main entrance and exit. This part is for the galleries, and this part is for the Hall of Fame. I'll explain it easily. So now coming towards here, we have got a museum shop at the exit only. When the people arrive from here, they'll be getting in the museum shop, and they'll be purchasing whatever they want, and they'll be having a cash counter at the end of the museum shop, and then they'll be going out with the museum exit. And the museum shop can also be accessed from the outside also. And attaching to the museum shop, we have got a camera surveillance unit and a announcement room. The camera surveillance unit is subdivided into two parts. One unit is in the entry and another unit is in the administration part. And the announcement part can be seen from the glass, so that if anyone wants to make a announcement, like if there were small children and they have miss them in the large herds, large crowd. So they can make an announcement over here, and also the announcement unit will be used from the administration side also. And here we have gotten space for special creative sculpture. So here, for the center of attraction, we can make a special sculpture which can be including the Indian Army, Navy and Air Force. So I would like to create a sculpture with the help of Wajid Khan, who is a special artifact, who is a special artist, special sort of artist. So if I'll be a client, I'll definitely approach him for this special creative sculpture. And here is the main VIP entry. So if the main VIP or someone who will be entering over here, he'll be having a larger vision and larger broad area and a huge height with a dome on the head. So this is the dome, and all this four side covering the dome will be the vaults. Next, coming over here, now I'll show where the basement, I mean to say this basement, this exit will be exiting from here, that is from here, exit from the basement. The lifts are over here, and this is a 2-meter wide passage. If someone comes from here under the ground, they can come on the first I mean to say on the ground floor through with the help of the steps or with the help of the escalator. There is only one exit and one entry for the museum, and there are 3 entries and 1 exit for the site. And to be on the safer side, so the museum has only 1 exit and 1 entry. So here's the 1 entry and this is the 1 exit. So we can't leave the persons who are traveling to the other part of the site and they are traveling on the road, so it can't happen. So they have to end somewhere inside the museum only. So here they are ending, and they will be traveling and they will be walking around this dome, which is height, I mean to say around this sculpture, and they will be walking through the straight line and then out. Coming to the administration part, here will be the arches. This is the entrance lobby, and this is the glass door associated with the lobby, lift and staircase. There are 2 vertical circulation spaces in the administration part on the either corners. I have created a friendly environment for the administration people, because they have to work from 9 to 5, from Monday to Sunday also. Even the Sundays the museums are open. So I have created some sort of IT style of administration and office spaces. So these 2 squares which have been attached with each other at the corners, they'll be open to sky with a good landscaping. And soon after the entry, here's the VIP conference room attached with the VIP waiting lounge. Here's the washroom attached with the VIP waiting lounge. So this is the VIP dining for 25 persons, which has been separately assessed. So once a VIP enters, he can enter from here, wait in the waiting lounge. If he has some sort of conference, he can go from here. If he wants to meet someone and have food, he can come over here. He can have dining, and he can have an exit from the entrance lobby of the administration part only. Now attaching with attachment with the dining, we have the VIP pantry, which can be accessed from the backside of the administration block. Now we have a separate service entry for the administration in case of uh, in case of some repairing of the machines, in case of some repairing of huge printers or something, and the services part for VIP pantry. So I have kept a separate service entry for the administration part. And here is the workstation for staff members of 10 number, 2-meter wide passage. All the passages in the museum are not less than 2 meter, they are more than 2 meter or 2 meter only. So at the end over here we have got the female washroom and a male washroom, and here we have got this room of this security head supervisor, and further we have got a video and CCTV surveillance room. As I said, there are two surveillance rooms, one is in the administrative part and one at the entrance. And this is the 85 square meter room for the security and control room. This is a pretty good large open space for the administration. And moving on to the galleries part, this is the entry for the gallery. This is gallery number 1, and the interior entry from the gallery number 1 to gallery number 2 is from here, and the people who are entering towards the gallery number 2, they can have a round from here, and they'll be entering in a 2-meter wide colonnade, and this center space will be open to sky with the good landscaping and some sort of blooming interior blooming flowers. When the person will be entering towards the gallery number 3 and exiting from the gallery number 3 and entering towards the gallery number 4, and he'll be looking out the spaces in the gallery number 4, and he'll be exiting from the gallery number 4, I want to say. So at this end we have washrooms for the male and the female washroom, and a ladies room, and a handicap washroom for a handicap, and some space for the water coolers and drinking water facilities. So here we have a handicap washroom and a ladies room. It can also be used for the breastfeeding also. This is the washroom for the female, and this is the washroom for the male. We have got the urinals and the WCs also. So after the exit of the gallery number 4, then the person will be entering to the gallery number 5, which is a large gallery with huge number of artifacts, huge number of uniforms, huge number of paintings, huge number of weapons, which cannot be exposed and which cannot be touched by the civilians. They are only for the exhibit purposes, and they can have a look, a long walk and a long look in the gallery number 5, and they can exit from here. So this is a 2.5 meter wide colonnade. This is the exterior colonnade, and after the exit from the gallery number 5, they have to move towards the outdoor exhibits. Yeah, after the moving towards the outdoor exhibits, we have the OAT, we have the outdoor exhibits. I have explained it in the side plan. And once again we have a canteen over here. Once a person enters into the outdoor exhibits, he'll be left with two options. One option is to enter to the canteen to refresh himself, or the other option is to go to the first floor to the galleries. So I'll explain the first option, that is the canteen one. So this is the first option, the canteen one. He can access through the ramp. This is the canteen entry. Here will the cash counter, sitting area, and storage area, and preparation and serving counter. So the service entry for the kitchen is from the back. So from here there will be the service entry and a drop off, loading and unloading area. Through the ramp all the storage materials will be carried and stored over in the uh, canteen storage area. Once he or she has a refreshing time in the canteen, he can directly access the gallery part. This is not a gallery part. He can move through the walkway which leads towards the gallery, upper galleries. Now I'll explain the option number 2. From here he exits. Here's the option number 1 and here's the option number 2. So if he chooses to go with the option number 2, he will be led by a ramp towards the 2.5 meter wide colonnade. Let me zoom it out to you. And here he'll be heading to a lobby. He can access through a lift for the first floor, or he can access through a widely arranged staircases with a mid landing to showcase the exhibits. I bet this is a definitely enjoyable and innovative space which can be used both for the vertical circulation and also the exhibiting parts. So this is the mid landing to show the exhibits. Once again he or she climbs the stairs, mid landing to show the exhibits, again the stairs, then the exhibits, and again the stairs, then he or she reaches a platform in the first floor. So the center space, which is space for sculpture, this is a huge open double heighted space. I have shown the double height in this side plan also. There's a covering above this and this is open to sky. The top portion will be covered with the polycarbonate sheet with a mild 35% opaqueness, which can let in the sunlight and block the heat. And here at this part we have got the receiving and the archives maintenance part. This can be called as the second part of the administration. So this is the loading and unloading area for the archives. This is the ramp for them and this is the steps for them. Utilities entry, receiving area. This is the office for the superintendent of this administration part. Here comes the lobby, then lift, and as I explained, this staircase will be moving to the lower part, that is the archives, the vault, and the basement part, which is attached with the parking. And this is the internal entry for the galleries. If someone wants to change, if the administration wants to replace some artifact with another artifact which has been kept in the gallery or vault, so they can access this entry from internal only. Next, on the other hand side of the side, we have got Hall of Fame and this part. I'll be explaining this ramp with the half landing displays in the first floor. On the other hand, we have got a refreshing canteen which will be meeting the people at the end of the journey in the museum. At the end, the people will be walking through the refreshing canteen. They'll be having a pleasant look over the landscape and water body present over here. It has not been shown in the Autocad plans, but it can be clearly visible with the Photoshop render site plan which I have shown earlier. So they'll be having a kitchen and food counter. So the kitchen and food counter is supported with the loading and unloading area, which can be accessed from this road itself. Going towards this first floor plan of the south wing, as I said, the upper part is the north wing and the lower part is the south wing. I'll start explaining from the above part of the entrance part of the museum. The access from the ground floor of the museum to the first floor of the museum is from the staircase or the lift. Here's the lobby, then the glass door. Then here is the long arcade for the sitting and having a nice read about the articles of the wars or some sort of old newspaper of the wars or some sort of novels of the wars. So this will be a long arcade. I have chose the arcade word and a line of arches to intimate this will be having a clearer and wonderful view of the central dome from the first floor. And this part is the library part. This is the entry of the library, the office of the assistant librarian and the office of the librarian. And there's a huge storeroom which can be accessed only from the librarian's office. And this is the female and the male washroom which can be accessed from the inner part of the library. So this part will be for the e-library section, that is electronic library section, and this whole part will be the area for the reading and book stacking. Now moving on the other hand, that is the first floor on the administration part. As I said, there are two spaces for the vertical circulation in the administration block on the either corners of the administration block. They can access either from here or they can access either from here. So on the first floor of the administration block, we have got a waiting lounge over here, then the conference room attached with the director's office, and the director's office is assisted with the director's PS office. That is the entrance towards the direct office. He or she should take an appointment from his PA and then enter in the director's office. The director's office has a washroom, and the director's office is attached with the conference room on the right hand side. The conference room has the two entrance and two exits. That is one and the same, or we can say one exit and one entrance. It can be used either wise. On the left hand side of the director's office, we have got a manager's office attached to the kitchen or pantry. This kitchen or pantry means if some of the workers who work in the administration office, they bring the lunches from their home, they can enter the kitchen or pantry. There will be the heating oven, micro oven. They can heat their food and have the freshly heated food. So this is the open space for having lunch. So I have given a large open space for having a lunch which has a larger enlarged view of a landscape from this part. I missed to show where the landscape is. Yeah, the administration part has a separate landscape and refreshing area. This is refreshing area for admin block, that is 694 square meters, and this is lush green landscape. So there's no need for the people who are working in the administration block to uh, enter or the museum space again and again for washrooms, or visiting outside spaces for refreshment, or anything. They are having their own refreshment spaces, their washrooms, their kitchen, their pantry, their separate entrance and exits. And here's a janitor's closet, which can be accessed from the galleries. And while explaining the gallery part, I have to start from here, because the gallery part, which has been accessed from ground floor to first floor, is through this mid landing staircases, which have been used for the exhibits. As as I had shown and explained in the ground floor part section, uh, the person walks all over through this U-shaped staircases with the mid landing of exhibits. He or she lands on a lobby over here. Uh, Otherwise, he or she can take a lift and land over the lobby over here. And this is the entry for the gallery, that is the sixth gallery. This is the entry, a long gallery as of the ground part. This is the long gallery, and here is the internal entry for the galleries. There's the restoring lab over there in the first floor, and these are the internal staircases and lifts which lead towards the vault in the basement. There can be a direct access from the galleries to the vaults and vaults to the galleries, vice versa. And here's a open to sky space. Yeah, uh, this is a open to sky space. This space has also been represented in the ground floor plan also. So here is the exit from the gallery 5, and as of the ground floor, the first floor also have the male washroom, the ladies room, female washroom, and a washroom for the handicap or specially abled, and a space for the water cooler and drinking water. Soon after the exit of the gallery 5, gallery 6, we have a gallery 6 over here. This is a small gallery, and the gallery is having two exits. I'll go with the first exit first, and I'll explain what the second exit is for. The after the first exit, he or she can have an entry towards the hologram auditorium. This is a special sort of auditorium, and in the auditorium there's no AV room at the back. At the back of the uh, viewers, I mean to say, no projector light, nothing. The whole thing, the whatever they want to show, that will be appearing in a three-dimensional perspective. That is the holographic hypervision wall. This is the new technology which has been invented, and I'll show you how it looks. This will be the holographic hypervision wall. This will be the holographic hypervision wall attached with a stage over there, and this is the sitting spaces for those who come to watch over here. and this is the sitting space for specially abled people. I mean to say specially abled people who were injured during the wars or something, or the normal civilian persons also. The holographic hypervision wall is backed up by a audiovisual room at the back. The entry for the audiovisual room will be restricted. For the better understanding of the hypervision wall, I'll be attaching a clip soon after this. Uh, I'll be attaching a clip. Yeah, I think so. Now the hypervision wall, holographic hypervision wall exhibiting is clear to you, and this is the exit. And I have given a pretty good amount of area soon after the exit, because the entry will be slower and the exit will be sooner. Everyone exists soon after the show is ended, so there should be some gathering space soon after the exit. Then there will be a entry towards the next gallery over here. Now I'm gonna explain what's the second exit is for from this gallery. So second exit is for those people who are not interested to spend the time in the holographic this thing holographic auditorium. They can walk in through this room, and they can get a quicker look of what they are able to see in that holographic auditorium, so that if they are interested to see that, they can once again walk back and go to the entry of the wall, entry of the auditorium. Or there will be certain timings for the holographic auditorium shows. So if someone who misses the show, he or she can enter in this room and have a quicker look. I mean to say, there'll be smaller holographic hypervision walls which emit the same sort of audiovisual thing in a smaller scale, so they can have a quicker look at it and they can move ahead. Then they will be joining the other people in the same gallery. So this is the exit from this gallery, and they can move all the way in the next gallery. And this is the exit from this gallery part, and also the entry for the another gallery. I think so this is the seventh gallery, eighth gallery. After the eighth gallery, this is a 3-meter wide colonnade. This is the first floor, so we have a colonnade, huge colonnade, which is 3 meter, and which leads us towards the another gallery at this end, which is above the canteen. So this gallery leads us to the 6-meter wide passage with display of exhibits. Now I'll show you this rectangle. I want to say this narrower path is the overhead bridge which crosses through the or is the overhead pass which crosses the 11-meter road which is intersecting at the site, which is intersecting the site. And this is also a 6-meter wide passage with the display of exhibits in it, so that no one can get bored while walking such a long distances. This will be accompanied with kaleidoscopic mirror interiors, which makes them interesting and self-interact with their family members, and with the help of some light motivational music, Then after that we'll be heading to this part. Here will be also a gallery. Mainly the museum will be having the galleries and the interaction spaces. I have given the interaction spaces wherever required, and rest all the spaces are for the gallery, because India is having a huge history, huge army background, and huge cultures towards the army. So we need a lot of space to exhibit those spaces. So this is that thing, and this is the entry for the observation deck. As I have mentioned, this part will be coming about the refreshing canteen. You can refer the whole AutoCAD diagrams in the below mentioned link. I'll be mentioning a link. So this is the observation deck. So they can observe the camouflage landscape from this observation deck. And this is the exit from the observation deck. This is the 5.5 meter wide passage which lead towards the Hall of Fame. This is a special Hall of Fame. Above this Hall of Fame there will be a rectangular opening with the porous polycarbonate sheet, which will be laser cutted by the names of the soldiers who were martyred in the wars. The minute laser cutting will be done on the polycarbonate sheets, so that when the sunlight enters through that polycarbonate sheets, all the names of the people who were martyred in the wars will be displayed on the floor with the floral decoration on the floors. So the way to the Hall of Fame is from this 5.5 meter wide passage and a gallery over here and an exhibiting space. Then the here will be a ramp, a 2.5 meter wide ramp and a 4.5 meter wide landing space for display and exhibits. So these are the 2 meter wide steps. One can take a ramp or they can take the steps. So next again the ramp, then steps, then ramp, then steps, with the 4.5 meter mid landing at frequent intervals. So the mid landing will be having the exhibits or the creative artifacts which enhances and motivates the youth of the young India, so that they can join the army and serve the country proudly. So this closely U-shaped ramp ends over here. Now I'll explain this part of the Hall of Fame, this part in the ground floor plan. Yeah, it ends over here, and this is the area for the sculpture and then the Hall of Fame. Then this will be the exit from the north wing. This will be the exit from the north wing, and then he or she can enjoy the north wing part, then the hangars and the landscape, and once again they'll be entering way to the south wing. I'll explain this part in the site plan so that it can be easily understood. As I was saying, soon after they exit from the Hall of Fame, they're gonna go through the aircraft hangars and look in and around the outdoor exhibits where it means the aircrafts which are hung out in the aircraft hangars, and they're gonna visit these landmarks. I mean to say these important statues which overjoy them and make them feel proud about their nation, about their brave heroes. The martyrs were someone's father, someone's son, someone's husband, newly married couples. They gave the people who are visiting them, they gave them the no words to explain how the joy will be there over there. So soon after they visit all the statues and all, they can make their way towards here and once again enter over here. And after this I explained you that soon after they enter there will be a refreshing canteen over here. They can sit by this water body and enjoy the pleasantness of the water body and the statues. So that's it about this second floor plan, and this is of the camouflaged landscape.
3D holographic technology has been around since the 60s, but has always been a work in progress, and has never really taken off as a user-friendly technology. Well, I came across a new technology just recently by the name of Hypervision Wall by Kinemo, which produces the closest thing I've ever seen to true 3D holograms. The Hypervision Wall is made up of projection units. Each unit looks like a full blade propeller with LEDs fitted down each of the blades. The projector attaches to a wall and then displays video content using the rotating blades of LEDs that create a stunning 3D holographic effect, giving viewers the impression that the animated object is suspended in mid-air.
Now I'm gonna move towards the 3D part, the 3D raw rendered images of the SketchUp, which gives the raw look of the museum and give you an idea how the museum will look from outside. So I'll be displaying the images, the music, the reports and the supporting documents and the AutoCAD plans, the sheets, everything will be attached to the link, and I'll be providing link below so you can access the link, so you can access all the files through that link. Thank you.